Hey guys, Han coming to you here from the editing bay with some just tragic, heartbreaking news. After recording this episode, in which I spent 2 hours slaving over 4 hot twin babies, I opened up the episode in the editing bay only to discover that I accidentally forgot to change the setup from our spare special, and unfortunately recorded the game audio on top of my mic track. So I've got the episode recorded, but unfortunately it sounds like this. Okay, so unfortunately I do not have a watchable version of episode 108, so what I've opted to do is, since episode 108 chronologically happened after our Generation 5 spare streams anyway, I have decided to combine a recap of what happened during our Gen 5 live stream specials, in case you missed them, in addition to giving you a short recap of what happened during episode 108. I'm gonna give the Gen 5 recap first because chronologically it happened first, and I feel like that makes sense. And also because episode 108 was mostly grinding and angsting about how hard it was to raise the 4 toddlers. So I'm so sorry, you guys, that this is not a typical episode this week. It is one of our special recap sort of formatted episodes due to my technical issues. I promise that things will be back on track next week, and I hope that you enjoy this recap version of episode 108 and our Gen 5 spare specials. The Generation 5 Spare Special was recorded in front of a live studio audience on YouTube.com on the nights of April 29th and May 31st at 6 p.m. Central. Our next one will be on July 27th at 4 p.m. Central. To stay up to date on the latest live stream announcements, check my website, handdrawn.tv, my Instagram, handdrawn.tv, or the community tab on the channel. The links will be in the description below. Thanks for watching, and here's what you missed with the Generation 5 spares. Unlike the last spare special, story progression is still eternally turned back off, so our spares from here on out will be played in this fashion, where we work our way through a generation of spares over the span of a few live stream sessions together. This is a fun way for us all to hang out, for you guys to get a chance to weigh in on some of the story elements, and a great opportunity for some major lore drops, such as what went down in this generation. We kicked off the spare special with our beloved Lasagna and Justice, opting to move them out of their tiny townhome and letting Carnage take it over. We opted to renovate a pre-existing home because I, foolishly, thought that it would take less time than doing a build from scratch, but we still ended up spending like an hour in build mode regardless. With the hell of a hacienda placed across the street so Carnage could look out at what fun and good fortune his parents are having without him. Let's move them in right next door to the Astrolegacy house too. Okay, so imagine you're Carnage. You're living in the shitty townhome that is still being rented out by your parents after you return home from college. They move out and build a hell of a hacienda across the street. We immediately damaged Justice by reprogramming him at a bad time and sending him into a grilled cheese psychosis. We gave Lasagna a quick makeover so she could really serve some clown during her elderhood, and adopted 3 worm rat guardians for the front of the house: queso, salsa, and guac, named after some riveting food discussions held with the chat. We held a number of family gatherings, with a ton of the Astrolegacy satellite spare family members attending, but alas, without any of the members of the main Generation 7 Cancerian family, who didn't give much of a shit to attend any of it. As we've learned in the main lot, elderhood would last much longer than any of us could anticipate, so we spent a long time having wild parties and making bad choices. One of those choices including the unanimous decision we had to adopt a baby. We thought we'd be adopting a teen into the household that the chat band together to call Ravioli, only for us all to discover together that not only can you not adopt teens, you also can't name an adopted child older than an infant, and thus, John S. the Suck Ravioli joined the family. Hold on. It's gonna let me name him, right? Guys! That's okay. We've got John, you guys. We've got John the child here, looking like a 40-year-old man, like a little Paul Rudd. We'll call him Ravioli. Yeah, let's just call him Ravioli. His name is Ravioli. We found tall-haired baby Johnny the Suck to be a young professional, destined to own a lemonade empire, while Lasagna enrolled in a gas station career late in life due to boredom. Wait, who's leaving with the car? What? Oh! Oh my god. Lasagna has a job now at the gas station, I forgot. Hey! Get your fresh lemonade lemonade here. I've got tall hair. The chat band together once more to unanimously decide to bring Madeline, a fan favorite spare flop of the Astrolegacy family from Generation 4, back from the dead, so they could live eternally in Belladonna Cove as Zombalin and have a little glow up. I couldn't refuse such an enticing request. And so Zombalin totally took over the first half of the Generation 5 Spare Special. We spent time giving Zombalin the makeover and glow up of their lives, giving them a fantastic place to stay, and even connecting them with their old lover that got away, Gretchen. The first half of the Gen 5 Spare Special came to a close when Zombalin finally got it in for the very first time with Gretchen in the love tub. A real redemption arc for them. Can't resist the Venus. Oh my god. All Madeline had to do to win over Gretchen was die. Well, Lasagna and Justice still had an overwhelming amount of life left to live, and I guess a whole entire kid now to take care of. Does John suck? Just cause John suck is so funny to me. That's why we forgot about John Suck Ravioli. In the second half of the Gen 5 Spare Special, we wrapped up Lasagna and Justice's lifespans. I took some time to remodel Johnny the Suck's room to better suit his lonely Italian restaurant aesthetic, and we began the process of courting and then stealing Gretchen from her ex-husband Kevin, along with her 2 children Linda and Dogsoul. Sorry, Dongsoul's name is just so silly to me. We reprogrammed Justice again because I was so bored of playing grilled cheese sims, setting him to family in respect to how he was the linchpin of the family for such a long time, especially during the Generation 4 Spare Special. His new lifetime goal was to graduate 3 kids from college, which unfortunately we knew we couldn't do, so Justice was just kind of there for the remainder of the stream. Gretchen had no problem at all abandoning her ex-husband, divorcing him, and forcing her 2 sons to move in with this zombie that she got cheated on by in college. After moving them all in, we made them our own by renaming Dongsoul to Linguini D and Linda to Gnocchi Linda. The first of many very traumatic things to happen to these 2 unsuspecting children of Gretchen. Gretchen and Zombalin got engaged at the Crypto Nightclub, our old stomping grounds. With a quick makeover to Zombalin and Gretchen, we set out to throw them a wedding to remember, but not one to hear, as it was at this point that the chat let me know that the game audio wasn't audible, and thanks to Maudlin taking a page out of Zombalin's playbook and flopping in our audio test prior to the start of the stream. For this live wedding, so we're on 4 weddings right now. What do we give the bride's dress? 1 out of 10. What do we give Gretchen's dress? That's one of the scores. Uh-oh, did the sound cut out? While hanging at the hell of a hacienda, we dipped our toes into the adoption pool a bit in an effort to help out the main house by removing some of the doofus cats up for adoption. We kicked off this effort of clearing out the kittens by adopting a fully grown adult dog named Stinky, who was wise beyond his years. Despite all the chaos of the house, Stinky was thriving, being made for this environment, harkening back to a bandit of generations past. All of a sudden, Justice dropped dead in front of the vending machine and all of the new children we acquired. Happy to be crossing the first of the Generation 5 spares off of our list after 5 hours of gameplay, we hurled his tombstone to Grisabella Grounds and kept our eyes on the prize, ending Lasagna's life. Among the cats we adopted to help out the main lot was a tiny cat named Crash, who ended up giving major Antichrist vibes later on in the stream. There was also one named Saffron. While the kids of the house were forced to take care of themselves, for better and for worse, the chat unanimously band together once more and decided that John S. Ravioli, Linguini D. Aliotto, and Gnocchi Linda Aliotto were destined to be kids that Jason will be a mother who stepped up to. To ensure that this happened, we tried our best to get the kids taken away by the social worker before the end of the stream. However, this did not go well. Part of our master plan for Zombalin, who had now completely overtaken the Generation 5 Spare Special, was to kill off Gretchen and bring her back as a zombie too, so they could live eternally together in Zatrimony as Zombalin and Zetchin. We couldn't figure out the most creative way to kill off Gretchen, even asking Jiminy Cricket, producer of Kingdom Hearts Wednesdays, in the chat to lend us some of his award-winning journal writing research work to figure out the most possible scenario capable of being engineered while live, and the player, me, being blacked out due to adrenaline. This does not go well. We ultimately kill Gretchen off right in front of her own son in the stinking bathroom of Johnny the Suck's Italian restaurant before bringing her right back to life, where she now despises Madeline for bringing her back as a zombie, which was all very on brand for Madeline's life. We cheated their relationship back to love because no one's got time for that, and we got them remarried, but this time with audio. Johnny the Suck grew into a teen, removing the possibility of him getting taken away by social services for Jason to then adopt, much to everyone's chagrin, but he did get even taller hair. Attendees of the stream got a sneak peek of the Cat Cafe, which we decided together could be called Harem Ball. John S. Ravioli started Baby's first kitchen fire, and Lasagna moved on from Justice shockingly fast. And I did mention that the cat Crash was kind of antichristy, right? That's okay, let's see. Yeah, still just living in there. I'm starting to think that Crash is definitely the Antichrist. He's playing in the ashes and the destruction. I think that Crash wanted this. Something rather tragic was that Zombalin, in a radical act against familial incest, attacked Penny over and over and over again for her relationship with distant cousin Carnage, until they became bitter enemies for eternity. While all this was happening, Lasagna remained completely unfazed. She kept her mood high with minimal oversight from me and just enjoyed herself, partying every night until her imminent death party. The night of her death party is one I, nor anyone in the chat that night, will ever forget. After a freaking sick night of partying with the family, Lasagna finally got her visit from old Grimmy. But since she wasn't quite ready to go yet, to give us all one last little wink, Lasagna took the entire stream out with her and crashed my game as we were taking her urn to Grisabella grounds. Does the party just end when the host dies? Is that what happened? I didn't notice. Oh my god, I just heard the crash noise. Oh my god. Uh-oh, you guys. I just heard, uh-oh, you guys. Can you hear it now? No, God! Oh, you can! Well, guys, thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. After the end of the stream, I was able to return to the game's wreckage and get things caught back up to speed, with delivering Lasagna's grave to Grisabella grounds and giving her a monument to her injustice at the graveyard, the blueprint of true love. Here is a montage for Lasagna that was widely requested by the chat after her death, as promised.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
Oh my god, Lasagna's a freak. Oh, I love her.
When the world seems to shine like you've had too much wine,
He's just gritting his teeth, trying to have a good time.
Bells will ring, ting-a-ling-a-ling,
What's that, baby?
ting-a-ling-a-ling.
Welcome back to another episode of the Sims 2 Astrolegacy Challenge.
The bella. Hearts are playing.
Yeah, you got this, Lasagna. People are gonna love this. Let's see if she has a chance of justice one. She dies, you guys, she dies.
When the stars make you drool, just like a pasta fazool,
He liked it! Oh my god, they're meant to be. They're meant to be!
when you dance down the street with a cloud at your feet, you're in love. When you walk,
Jason is gonna grow up at 16 today.
but you know
Yes!
not
Lasagna's been promoted to the law. Yeah, look how short this is. You are the law. Criminals tremble in your presence. Dispense judgment with a firm but fair hand.
Excuse me, but you see back in old Napoli, that's amore.
I also took that moment to move Jason in, at the suggestion of esteemed Ham in the chat, and had him save the 3 boys that were left behind in the wreckage of the Halava Hacienda. With the help of the Inseminator mod, I was able to make Jason recognize the 3 boys as his own, and now he, John S. Ravioli, Linguini D, and Linda Gnocchi will wait to be revisited by us in his section of the Generation 6 Spare Special. I saved the worst for last. These 2 weren't very notable, and we agreed in the chat that no one would really care if they died off screen, so I played them until they died after our live stream specials with Lasagna in an effort to empty out Midnight and Autumn's old house so that Andromeda and Servo could move in as rightful, mysterious, and fun Virgo spares. The only notable items to mention in Philip and Lindsay's storyline are that I had Philip immediately get engaged to Melody Tinker, who was his girlfriend left over from story progression. When Melody Tinker came to our house, she brought her brother, Aaron Tinker. Aaron and Lindsay hit it off swell when they first met, and I had them make moves on each other, only discovering that Lindsay was already romantically entangled with Jenny Peterson, who you may remember as Belladonna Cove's town bicycle. Jenny Peterson and April Cho are the town bicycles. After she randomly rolled the want to marry Jenny while on a date with Aaron. This did not go well. This led to an all-out war between Lindsay, Aaron's sister Melody, now that she had married and moved in, and Jenna, who I impulsively decided Lindsay would propose to and marry the exact same day of Philip's and Melody's marriage to try and steal the spotlight off of him. Oh my god, look! Lindsay's proposing in the background! They literally proposed in the background. Let's join the union like right after. The fighting got so bad, I kid you not, that Ginny actually died. I lost track of Ginny and she died. I believe in my heart that Melody murdered her, but in reality, I think that she just used the exercise bike for so long that she starved to death when I wasn't looking. Wait. Ginny? When did Ginny die? Oh my god, Jenny died. I don't know when or how Jenny died. Oh my god, thank god I'm recording. I'm gonna have to check how Jenny died. What? But in my heart, I still believe it was because Ginny and Melody fought so much that she died. Otherwise, I got Lindsay to platinum as I re-rolled her aspiration when I got to the lot, and all she wanted to do was become top of the business career, and I was unable to finish Philip and Melody's similar lifetime want of becoming a mad scientist. Unfortunately, all the fighting with Lindsay and Ginny really distracted Melody from her studies, and Philip has always just been a flop. All in all, not much missed. I moved Andromeda and Servo into the wreckage of their home, where they inherited a cat I named Kitty, to still further help the main lot by taking in more idiot cats out of the gene pool of the adoption services. This did not go well. And that's about all you missed on the Generation 5 Spare Special. So as I said, episode 108 was the first time I was recording after the Generation 5 Livestream Spare Special Part 2. Hence the huge error I made in the recording setup. I talked a little bit about seeing your responses to the Gen 7 Air options and how we're all a little team stinky fat, and how I now have a strategy to keep both Cancerian couples in the house while we give Peaches and Avery one more chance at becoming the heir by having another round of kids, because 3 out of 4 of the kids can be kicked out to college before Peaches gets too old to have more kids. So that will be my plan going forward. From there, I went ahead and commenced the arduous journey of making sure that all 4 toddlers grew up well. The good news is most of this episode was me screaming and spitting angrily at how annoying everyone was being trying to raise the toddlers. But the bad news is that that's really all that happened, making this recap not as full of lore drops as one would hope. I put this goddamn like nursery kitchen in here so that these assholes will just stay upstairs with the goddamn babies, and yet he's still going. Why is no one doing what I need you to goddamn do? Oh my god, I hate this. This is so annoying. How did you get out there? You know what? I can't take it anymore. With move objects on, I'm moving you up here so that this is less horrible. You know what I need to do is lock everyone in this room. The kids and adults alike drove me nuts, and I ended up redoing the nursery a little bit to where I could keep a miniature kitchen inside, and I also kept locking one parent inside with the kids because I couldn't trust anyone else in the house to come inside without displacing one of the children, ultimately leading them to falling asleep in one of the pet beds again. It was so annoying. The 2 twins, I think at some point I mentioned that the 2 sets of twins, raising them at the same time is making the idea of raising 20 kittens seem like a cakewalk. Pegasus and Alfredo, kids of Peaches and Avery, were the first in line to grow up to kids, and I did so immediately. All 4 kids had a fear of parties at this time, which was really annoying, so I actually opted for birthdays to just avoid the big hit we'd take in aspiration, because it was hard enough getting everyone to learn everything and keeping their aspirations high, even though it's annoying we didn't get to get the cinematics for any of them growing up as a result. Once the first set of twins get into kids, I briefly split their rooms so that the kids could actually sleep in spite of the constantly screaming toddlers. We adopted our 4th cat, a female blonde genius kitten that we named Jadzia, the next name on our list, to raise and then sell at the cat cafe. Due to the annoying fear of parties that the toddlers still had, we opted to do a pseudo birthday party for the younger set of twins, Mistopheles and Sparkle, where we invited over the family members who ultimately decided to leave the house before we even had the birthday party, minus Servo, who's really stepping up to be a new linchpin of the family, honestly. Another big item I made sure to complete this episode was getting new custom portraits painted for a lot of the spouses, spares, and other notable members of the Astrolegacy family to be used at Grisabella grounds, because I kind of expanded the graveyard to have a spare section, a pet section, a spouses section, and a memorial area for Lasagna specifically. I also did a makeover of the kids' rooms once they were all grown up. I had a blast doing this. I went with a princessy theme and had them all share a big room with a split level bed situation. I also had Peaches create shiny gold curtains for all the windows. It was really cute and it made me really excited for the girl-heavy household that we were raising. I spent the remainder of the episode getting the paintings together for Grisabella Grounds because that took quite a while. We had a long list of paintings to work through, but I also discovered in this pursuit that Sichthony and Peaches both have maximum creativity skill, so they made it seem pretty easy. We also finished raising Jadzia the cat. We successfully grew Jadzia up and sold her off at the cat cafe to Kevin Alioto, who is Gretchen's ex-husband that she divorced on the front lawn of the Hellefa Hacienda before giving her kids away to Jason. And that's all that really happened in episode 108. The main thing you missed was my extreme raging at the Sims being awful parents to 4 screaming toddlers, which I am very sorry that you did miss that. But otherwise, it was just kind of a level, grindy kind of episode where I was trying to get those toddlers raised. I was trying to raise a kitten. We now have 4 cats raised to adults and sold off at the cat cafe. We have 4 kids for next episode. Once again, so sorry that we were unable to have a normal episode this week and it was more recap style. We will be back to business as usual next week, and I hope that you at least enjoyed the recapped version of both my defunct episode 108 and the Gen 5 Spare Special live streams. If you want to know when the next Spare Special live stream date is, which will be Generation 6, will be starting Jason, be sure to check out my community posts here on YouTube, my website, handdrawn.tv, or my Instagram, @handdrawn.tv, that I'll list in the description below. If I've decided on a live stream date, I'll put it on the screen here right now. Otherwise, stay tuned in those places, and I'll make sure to post about it a ton leading up so you won't miss it. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this episode, please consider giving it a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We have new episodes of the Sims 2 Astrolegacy Challenge every Sim Monday. I think we have just about finished Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2 over on Kingdom Hearts Wednesdays, where me and my co-host Seth are working our way through every Kingdom Hearts game in story order. So I will see you guys then, and I hope that you have a great rest of your week. Bye-bye.